Hey, coach. So glad you found the video. Make sure you subscribe and like. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Let me help you put banners and national rankings and all those things in your gym. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a community of like minded coaches. We just got off an hour and a half call. Come over and join us, and let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to High School Hoops, episode 136. All right, today we're going to talk about player development. Again, probably could do this for 8 years. But before we do that, we're going to give a big shout out to Dr. Dish. Go over and check those great people out. They have they have so many different versions. It's crazy. I'm just telling you. And they will work with you. They'll work on financing. They'll work on buying old machines. They have at home ones. They have a home machine, which you don't get the discount on, my discount at least. But they have the $500 one that will just hook on top. They have the machines that go up to like holy crud. They have trainers on them and a lot. It's unbelievable. So go mention Coach Unplugged. They'll give you $350 off. Just tell them I sent you. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. I was telling Jake a couple weeks ago that part of the reason I was doing this was on a walk. I was thinking about it, and player development was one of them because I came up for teachhoops.com. I came up with this whole workout that they can do together. They can do with a partner. I wouldn't call it a COVID workout, but it's a workout that we've done in the past, and it's basically here. And then I give them choices, which is the best part of the workout. It's like, you can do A or B this week. What do you want to do? What skill do you have to work on, and describe all the drills and stuff. So you can check that out over in teachhoops.com. I know I threw it up on our Facebook group on our private Facebook group for teachhoops.com. But all right. Anyway, let's head off. Player development. What do you think, coach?
I have tons of stuff in here because I think it's something that comes from building a program, that program piece and branding. Because I think player development is not when you're the varsity coach. Player development is a scope and sequence through third all the way up. So like
So
and
say that
holding your
again for the non-teachers, what you mean by
what I'm
scope
saying
and
is that like
sequence.
you when you build a program, player development isn't just something that exists within your team. It's if you're building a program, you're that leader and you're developing a progression so all your kids by the time they get to you have those essential skills that they're able to do. And whether if a group of kids at the freshman and the sophomore level, you're making sure at that level that they're still working on those skills and the player development skills in the seventh, sixth, fifth, and you're constantly emphasizing that at the younger ages, because you can only make up so much time and as a sophomore, junior, and senior as at the varsity level. So I think player development is something that it has to start right away and how you structure it. And then I think it's got to be something that is planned. It just can't say go get better. You got to give them tools in their toolkit, right? Right. And it's got to be, and if a really good toolkit is something that might be connected to what you do, right? You're not
Right.
just pulling this. Okay, so if I do this and I'm really working on shooting, these are shots within my offense or I'm coming off of a screen. That's just going to make your team better and that player better in their environment for the regular season.
Right. So the player development here too. So I think you have to think about the full person when you're doing this. Um when we were talking about culture, I was talking about that weight training thing that I did, but you have to think about not only skill development on the court, you have to think about leadership training, you have to think about, what kind of student are they? What kind of strength and conditioning and agility, what kind of nutrition are they dealing with? I think when you're talking about player development, you're not just talking the I can put this orange thing through this cylinder, it's like I I think you have to think about the entire person. Um and that's a harder player development, but I think it will pay off not only as a citizen of the United States, it will help us all, but it would also help it's going to help your team, it's going to help the dynamics in your team, it's going to help the locker room, it's going to help the bus rides, it's going to help school, it's going to help everything. So, part of our jobs as educators and coaches is to develop people that can become good citizens, good parents,
So
good.
here's my big question and my aha moment when we start talking about this. Do you think building relationships with your players coexists with player development?
Yeah.
So if you have a stronger relationship with your
Hey, Coach. Hope you're liking the video. If you are, subscribe down below. That would be awesome. That will help us get noticed all over the web. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell up above. You get a notification when we put a new video up every day. That's good. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.
pillar layers and you build relationship with your players, do you feel like you're going to get more player development out of them? Because I think that's a good piece that people that are listening is if you want your kids to really buy into player development, they need to know that you care and you have a positive relationship with them. And you're always, I really think that they go in hand.
Yes.
No? Yes.
Yes. That's easy. Done. Yes.
But again, I know that we're pulling out the
but,
obvious, but
it's
it's
like
so true.
if I'm going to ask you to run through that wall for me, you got to know that I got your back.
Exactly.
And I've said this 1,000 times on these podcasts, but summer, that's what I missed about last summer is like I wasn't able to do that, and it would have been a hard season if we had played. But now I got to figure out how to do it this summer, and I don't know what this summer is going to look like. Um, but yes, I would 1,000% that they have to know that you are there no matter what. When things are good, when things are bad. Um, so yes, I think that player development, that relationship building, that skill development, that strength and conditioning, that citizen, all of those things that potpourri of the person that you're trying to build.
All starts with building relationship with that player.
So big. It's so
So
big.
I think that's a great point though.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I think that's the kicker. And if you can do that, I'm telling you. So if we summarize, if you do the 4 things we've talked about over the last 4 weeks, build culture, build a program, brand,
Yeah.
talk about X's and O's, player development, you'll win.
But it's also in the way that you do it. So your X's and O's have to be pre-planned. You know what I mean? Your culture has to be consistent and repetitious. So taking those pieces and some of those really golden nuggets that you like to call them from our discussions and really make it in what you want, I think you can have a great program for
I
sure.
do too. I do
I
too.
really do.
Yep, I agree. And if you want more on all of this, come over and join teachhoops.com.
Yeah, we can always do another session on player development in certain areas, younger areas. Even if you wanted to do a session on youth development for a Coach Unplugged, both Steve and I have dealt with younger players before, and even and so forth. And let us know. We always want to be relevant, and we love when people ask questions.
Yes. Go
'Cause
over on
learning
Twitter. You
takes
can go to our
place.
Facebook group. Our Facebook group is awesome. I have the largest Facebook group in the world for basketball coaches.
That's
20
awesome.
20,000 coaches. So if you need,
And it's a very, very, very great group because it's very
don't sell
supportive.
Bitcoin. Don't try to sell jerseys. What else would people try to spam in there? I'm always kicking them
No,
out.
it's an environment. It's just a great environment
Yeah,
for
you will not
basketball
get
coaches.
spammed. Trust me, you will
No.
not get spammed. I spend time on it, but yeah, Bitcoin, the prince in Nigeria, there's all these spammers, man. It's like, oh my gosh, how do you get through the first line of defense? But anyway, yeah, so full timeout. Do we have a full timeout?
Yeah. So I know you're a reader. I'm a reader. So I want to know, and I want the listeners to know, what is the last book you finished and the book that you're reading right now?
I'm the last book I finished was Entrepreneurial You.
Uh,
So it's a business book, and I'm about 30 pages done with the Brock book, which is
that's so funny that you say that. So the last book I read was The Kids Got It Right. It's how Texas Big 33 All-Stars kicked down the racial walls. It's like the
okay.
Bill Bradley story. It's really great. It was really enjoyable to
Yep.
read. I enjoyed it. And it was really
I should have stopped the Brock book after in the last. I got a little bored. Anyway,
well, that's so funny because
so
I
long.
wasn't gonna go and buy it because I figured how am I gonna pass this on, a 600-page book. So I waited like 6-7 months to finally get it at the library, and I got it, and I started reading it yesterday. So
It's really good. Don't
it
get me
is
wrong,
really good.
it's
Don't
really
get me wrong.
It's
And
actually better to listen to it. So
yeah,
that
and
one,
I maybe have to do that.
yeah,
And
I listen to. I'm going to be honest. I didn't read it. I'm listening to it.
so it does in your voice audio. Does he read it
He
himself?
reads it. That's the
See,
reason
then I
I'm
would
doing
really
it.
like that. So maybe I have to switch that up.
Get
I
it on
might just
Audible.
buy that and get it on audio or try to rent
Get
it.
it on Audible. All
That
right.
makes-
See, you never know what we're going to talk about here on High School Hoops. So
Yeah, but maybe we just help somebody else not have to read a 600-page book.
it's a little. Yeah.
It's huge. It's gonna be like the biggest book I've ever finished in a long time.
He's really good. But he's and you can, and yeah,
I would like to hear him speak. That's why I went on.
You can
here.
play him at 1.5 too, and it's fine. Sorry, Brock. If you ever listen to this, hey, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah,
He's
we
funny,
would love to
buddy.
talk about. Yeah.
Love to talk. We could talk hoops forever, Brock.
Yeah.
I'll give you a pointer too. Your shot needs a little work. All right.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Actually, if you did, subscribe and like, and then go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.